In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Hello everybody, how are you doing? We'll be doing great by the mercy and grace of Almighty Allah. My name's NA Saqib. I'm an educationist, spoken English and IELTS trainer. Been training the students and professionals for the last 20 years at the platform of Genius Institute Lahore. Dear friends, we got once again Mr. Usman Ali with us, and he's going to give us the tips and techniques of the IELTS in general. But now in this lecture particularly, we were talking about tips and techniques used in IELTS reading, and he acquired 8.5 overall in IELTS general training and 9 band scores. 9. You know, there are total 9 band scores, and he acquired 9 out of 9. I mean, it means that he must have answered all the 40 questions straight away. That's why he is able to get 9 out of 9. And we'll be just talking a little bit about his tips and techniques. You know about the reading subtest of the IELTS. You know, the complete 1 hour is given to you. That's the time on your disposal. There are 3 different sections, and you got to just cover all those sections. And there are 3 different sections in academic one, and 3 sections in general reading are split further into different other sections. There are altogether maybe 5, and that's what you have to see in the examination hall. So, Mr. Usman, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling very good, thank you.
Thank you. God bless you, Mr. Usman. We are really pleased, and we are on the 7th heaven of delight after we have listened that you've got 8.5 in generating IELTS in total, but particularly 9 band scores, all-time highest in reading section of the IELTS. Okay, now just tell about your feelings when you saw 9 on your test report form. What was your reaction?
I was over the moon, I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
I was over the moon. I knew it went really well, but to get a 9 out of 9 is just something. Can't explain it, to be honest.
Absolutely, it is very unusual feelings which can't be explained, comprehensively. How you would have felt, I can imagine. I being the teacher feel delighted. You being the student, you might have also felt a lot more excitement, and that's what I was hoping for. Now let's hurriedly just go through some tips and techniques. You know that it 3 different parts. And getting familiar with the question types is important, isn't it?
Yeah. So, in my opinion, and also by your guidelines, when you get the reading test, one should read the questions first rather than reading the passage first and then read the questions.
Absolutely.
And then going back to the passage to find the answers. So one should read the questions first. Get yourself familiarized with the questions. The questions are not that technical that if you read the questions first, you won't be able to get the idea of the passage. As soon as you read the questions, you get the idea of the passage as well. And as you go back to the passage, you start reading the passage, you find the answers right over there, and then you can answer as you go. So it saves time.
Time saving management, actually. That time management is all about, it's a very important strategy in all the IELTS modules, but in particular it's important in reading section because you are always short of time. Students complain about having a lesser time, and they see that the material is too huge and too big, and there are different parts and different sections, and different linguistically is difficult as well. A bit of convenience is there for the general reading students, but academic reading stuff is linguistically very challenging. But if it is a bit easy, the general reading module, the marking criterion is strict. So it's even Steven, I would say. Okay, that time management plays an important role here.
Yeah, I agree with you. So time management is the main thing. So there are 3 sections, section 1, 2 and 3. In my opinion, and also by your guidelines, one should spend at the very least 30 minutes. So you need to save 30 minutes for section 3. So you should wind up section 1 and 2 within the first half hour, and you should leave the last half hour, so 50% of the time, for section 3, as it is very long and there are about 12 questions that you need to
It
solve.
becomes harder and harder with the passage of time. The first one, the first paragraph, first passage, I beg your pardon, is easier one. The second one is normal, neither too hard, not too easy. But the third one is the difficult one, the most difficult one. That's why some extra time should be spared for attempting this third paragraph, which is really important one, and which can make or mark your numbers or band scores. In listening, we know that we are given 10 minutes extra time to transfer our answers onto the answer sheets, and in case of reading, this time is unavailable. Only for 60 minutes are granted, and those 60 minutes include actually the transferring of the. So some students are mistaken about it. So what did you prefer? You were writing down the answers for the question sheets and then transferred it later on?
No, basically what I did, I put the question paper and the answer sheet side by side. So as I was finding the answers, I was writing down the answers on the answer sheet as I went. So in order to save time, or alternatively, in order to not waste time at the end, to be able to transfer the answers.
Some students forget about transferring answers. The time is up. Actually, they still want to you transfer the answers, but the time is not given. Extra time is not given. That's why even if on the paper, on the question paper, question booklet, you have written everything correct, if you have not been able to transfer it, your answer will be considered incorrect and you won't be given any band score at all. So transferring your answers onto the answer sheet alongside you attempting and sorting out your questions is important. Read and write the answer directly onto the answer sheet. That's fine. I like your strategy that first read the question then answer. Do you think that reading questions is important because in questions there are some keywords which should be circled, and then they should be seen, the information should be seen in the paragraph? Do you mean?
Yeah, so basically when I say read the questions first, is read the questions, underline the keywords, or if not underline, circle them. If not circle them, at least memorize the keywords that you're trying to look in the paragraph, and then go to the paragraph. Sometimes you'll find the keywords in the paragraph, but a lot of times you won't find the keywords in the paragraph. So at that time, try to remember the keywords and then try to find the same idea in the paragraph in order to answer the questions. That was my technique under your supervision and your guidelines.
That's absolutely fantastic. And skimming and scanning, what is the role of skimming and scanning in attempting the answers?
So basically, there are people who read the paragraph. As we all know, our first language isn't English, which is why we give the IELTS test. So some people, they read the paragraph. There's a process involved. So they read it. The words go into the person's head. The person translate them into their native language and then tries to understand it, which takes a lot of time. One should have done much reading, sufficient reading to be able to skim through. So when a person is trying to skim a paragraph, he or she is basically reading it really, really quickly. So if you're required to answer true or false or not given questions, you should be able to pick up keywords in the true false statements and then go back to the paragraph, start reading the paragraph, and be able to skim through to be able to answer the questions. This is especially efficient in fill in the blanks. So where you have to just literally pick a word. In that case, whatever the sentence is with the blank, go to the paragraph, try to skim through. As soon as you get to that particular idea or that particular sentence, pick up the word, put the answer, and all stuff.
General reading is much more important if you want to be fluent in academic reading, and because the formal academic stuff is taken from magazines, newspapers, journals, and research papers, and that's a bit linguistically difficult because they can take information from any part of the word, from any subject of the word. So you need to just have a bit of general training in order to just tackle or sort out the issues of your academic IELTS reading. And moreover, speed reading is important because you may be able to, as we're talking about, we just conceive the things in mind, just read it and just try to chew the words a bit, listen to those words from our mouth to our ears, then translate it and then just try to understand it. So this is really a difficult, a long through process. We have to be very precise in just looking at the information and perceiving it, or rather understanding it quickly. So quick reading or speed reading is the key factor which deciphers general students from the special students who are capable of scoring high in IELTS reading in particular. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Usman Ali, for giving us the time today as well. We hope this conversation or this little interview will generate a lot of ideas in the minds of the students who are the prospective students of IELTS and they are looking forward to appearing in IELTS. You can hire our services. We teach language and IELTS courses here at Genius Institute Lahore. Mr. Usman is a brilliant example who has scored 8.5 historic band scores generally in IELTS, overall in IELTS, and 9 band scores in reading in particular. God bless you all. Thank you very much indeed. Stay connected. So stay blessed. Best of luck.